Welcome back to Bloody Knuckles Garage. Today we're going to be talking about the bolts that hold the diaphragm to the flywheel. Now, these are not the bolts that hold the flywheel to the crankshaft, so we are not covering those at this time. Now, I got an ARP bolt here. That's the product I got. Right here I have what I took out. Notice it did not have a lock washer on it. This is what I had somebody else send me as to what they took out from a salvage yard. And if you look, it's about an 1/8 inch taller than all the rest. And this is a simple grade 5 5/16, 3/4 inch length bolt. And that's kind of what you get whenever you order from Clark's. So, after looking at taking all these, I took some dimensions. And I kind of figured out that I think the ARP is going to work. The ARP has the longest shank, but it's still not long enough to go through all the way through the diaphragm by itself. And by the time you throw a lock washer on there, it's going to be further from. All of them except for the longest one there, third one over, are going to have about 6 threads of engagement when all said and done, which is more than what you get with a nut. So that should be good. Whenever you stick these ones in with the shank, if you notice, the shank is actually just a hair thicker, so that gets your diaphragm perfectly centered on where it's supposed to be. Now, the ones that I got sent to me, the shank is a little longer on it also, but it's meant to be used with a lock washer. I think that is actually the correct bolt for the corvair. I'm not sure where they got this one from. It worked, but they didn't have a lock washer on it. When I install these, I'm probably going to use a dab of Loctite on them also, just to be sure. So, if you're wondering, I'm going forward with the ARP bolts. And right there is the number. It says for a forward pressure plate, but they work just fine in my corvair's pressure plate. Now, as a lot of you guys know, I've got a 64 transmission that I'm sticking in now. And we have to deal with the snout seal. The snout seal was stuck right in there, up against that lip you see in there. And then it gets locked in by this washer here. Well, the 64 and 65 transmission has a thicker clutch shaft. Also, it has 14 splines instead of 12. So, as you can tell, the inner diameter is smaller on this on the old one than the new one. I checked it. It kind of looks like this is smaller, but it's really not. So it's just hard to tell. So I'll be putting those in. I'll be installing the clutch again. And hopefully be talking to you soon whenever I'm getting ready to put the transmission on.